All right, so we're going to go over a couple things on your swing here. Let's go ahead and do it from the stance standpoint. Not bad when you go into that kind of load position. Your hands go back. One thing I did notice right there, you see with your eyes how they start right here. And what you do is you. Now, not bad, but in baseball that's a lot, right? So just be cautious of wherever you start. Try to stay there, right? Your barrel gets in a pretty good position. I would probably, have it shrink down to that angle a little bit more to be more on plane, just a hair. But they separate back nice, right? When you get yourself loaded up. I also like that your knees are inside of your feet right there. That's good. Okay. Eyes are on the pitcher. So all in all, in regards to your stance, pretty good shape. When we go into here, we get ourselves loaded up. Right. So there's two things, but more importantly, look at this front foot. See that front foot right there? This should never go above a 45-degree angle, but you see how much that foot is out, right? So focus on this thing landing a lot more closed, because look what that does to the front hip. It opens everything up, right? And that's going to be really important when you go to stride. And you can even maybe start your stride, just bring your foot back just a hair back in here a little bit more, so then when you go to stride, you don't stride as long. But that key is when you land, you actually landed okay, but then we go into that boom, right? And notice from the hands, look at the hands, right? They're going to go down and underneath that ball compared to keeping those hands up high. So as you go back and through, work on those hands as they're going to keep that barrel up. You notice that this barrel is more, is more of this angle. And look at the head, right? It's kind of down this way. So if we get the head taller, head more in this area for taller, and your posture, say you're kind of to the side a little bit, if this does that, what's it going to do with our barrel? It's going to keep it in this angle so I can work down on through the baseball, right? Because if our hand path is here, we're just going to do nothing but kind of do our barrel like this, right? Or I want to have, if my hands kind of stay here, I can be more down and through. That's kind of how I want it. Does that make sense? So in our finish, finish isn't bad, but we obviously know on that front foot, right? We got to really change off this to where we're going to really close that thing off. If you look at your line, you look at from the floor all the way up, that's pretty good finish. But you'll notice, look how much taller you are at your finish than you are at contact. It changes a lot. The levels, right? Bring that back, see how much over you are, and then you go up tall. You want to try to keep that posture all the way through. Remember we talked about posture with a lot of the guys? Trying to keep that posture all the way through, right? Let's go to the next one. See those hands right away? What do those hands do? So when you take a pitch, you should focus on trying to sit in with some bullpens and really get good at taking a pitch. And as you take a pitch, think of your hands going back and up compared to taking a pitch and having them drop. You know what I mean? And that's going to get you more on top of the baseball. But see those hands? Now that's obviously a nasty, really bad pitch. I'm not even going to worry about that one. But again, that was your take. So if you focus with your take going down, you want to focus on still your hands staying up, right? See that front foot? That front foot spins, hands drop. At contact, my head changes. Barrel is in this direction, right? I'm going to work up. And then you come up tall again. See, your finish is great. We just got to get you to that contact. Look at that. That's money right there. But that's not where we're at when we're back here, right? So we got to try to do that all the way through. Well, there's a couple things going on. So, the other thing is too is notice that this is locked out, right? So we need to keep that angle of this needs to be more in that area for that front arm position, because that's what we're talking about being long. So the two major things going on is the front foot, that opening up, but also you can see is this firming out, and when we come through with that sideways, and that's not bad, but we got to be cautious of getting ourselves on that lock, and that's going to do that casting thing, right? Just to make sure that that stays nice and short. Where you want to have this lower hand, you want to be extension at contact, right?